Here we go again with another lone YouTuber reaction video. Exclusivo live! So, this is Alina. Alina Pumpkin, or now Alina again. So, I've heard about this person from other sources, and I thought, she's this supposedly attractive young girl who is going through mental health issues. And of course, look at her viewership. It's already at in the multi five figures. So it's no surprise, of course, when you see an attractive young girl who's struggling. Yep, it's no surprise that there's gonna be a lot of men coming up and watching this video, no matter what the hell she says. Even if she says something like, well, I'm not here for any online relationships, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, so that's
I
gonna
feel
hurt
so
too.
lonely and I want a boyfriend or a partner or a husband or whatever so badly. And I just want to start this off by saying that this is not a video of me looking for propositions from men to be my boyfriend or something like that. I'm not looking for an online relationship. I want someone in my life physically. Of all the love languages, my top love language is physical touch and quality time. So online relationships aren't going to work for me. But I just desire love so strongly, and I have for so long. I want to talk about it many times over video, but I haven't because I just don't know how to say it. But I know that everyone or most people feel the exact same.
But the title alone is just so generic. I wish I had a boyfriend. It don't matter what. Like, it could be anybody. It's like and also too, yeah, she says she doesn't want online relationships, and yet she's still putting herself out there.
Same way everyone wants to be loved, everyone wants a partner, and it's such a it's such a passionate, deep, strong feeling inside of each of us, or at least specifically myself. Yet it's so hard for me, at least, to express it in words. The feeling, it just feels like, I want to say emptiness, but that is wrong because I used to always look for a man to fill the emptiness inside of me, and after many, many years of looking for men to fill the emptiness in me, I realized that the only one who could fill the emptiness was God. But the desire for a boyfriend or husband or whatnot is so strong inside of me. I always try to not fight it, but kind of, because I know that the reason why I am not with someone right now is because it's not the right time, and God does have a plan for me, but it's just not yet. But so I try to be patient because it's just this knowing in me that I'm not ready yet. I'm not. Everyone says that you can. Everybody's different, but everyone says that you can still have a boyfriend to be in a successful relationship when you're at your worst or when
I
you're
mean,
depressed.
with her post talking about God and like having faith, I mean, she can turn an atheist guy into a Christian Catholic just like that.
Things like that. But for my personal situation, I do feel like I need to overcome or get to a certain
Oh
level in my
man.
mental health and my personal journey before I can successfully be in a relationship. And that's only by being honest with myself. It takes a lot of honesty with myself and surrender to really accept the reality that I need to overcome some stuff on my own first. I've been single for about 5 years now, somewhere between 4 or 5 years, and
Oh,
I was 25 or 26 when I broke up with my
5 years.
last boyfriend. And I've made a promise to myself that I would not be in a relationship again for at least 1 year, because my boyfriend and I were together for 2 years and we're very serious. And I read online somewhere at one point that said something that you need at least half the time of your relationship before of being single after it ends before you went to the next one. It's not some sort of arbitrary number like that, but it did make sense. And that was a big deal to me. I was like, okay, I'm going to take a whole year, because prior to that, whenever I was in between boyfriends, I only had two, but I was constantly
I
on dating apps,
guess.
constantly.
Okay.
And that year mark passed, and I still felt like, even though I was still seeking like dating, casual dating on dating apps at that point, after that 1 year, I think I knew in the back of my mind that I needed to. No, I did know in the back of my mind that I still wasn't healed, because it wasn't just that I need to, you know what, I misspoke, but I don't want to refilm this whole video just to replace that part. It was so long ago I forgot, but I knew that wasn't making sense to me. When I broke up with my boyfriend, that 1 year mark was just something I read about how long it takes to move on or something like that. That was not what I was thinking. What I told myself is I wasn't allowed to be in another relationship until I healed myself, because I had a lot of issues. I had all the same depression during that time and previously, and it was in that relationship that I learned that no man was going to save me from my depression and my issues, because I was in this relatively good relationship with a really nice man. His name was Austin.
Oh
He was amazing.
boy.
Everybody in my family, he still talks to me occasionally. He's a great man, but we weren't compatible. He was extremely extroverted. I was extremely introverted. We didn't mention that we weren't right for each other, but he was a great person. And I didn't really realize that a lot of the problem was that I was introverted and he was extroverted, and we had different desires in life. But that's aside from the point. The point was that I was with this man who loved me so much and made me so happy and was so wonderful, but I was still just depressed, and I've always been. And that moment I've talked about in other videos was when I realized no man was going to be the answer for my internal pain, my internal suffering, my internal emptiness. So
I guess like two different personalities. Like the extroverted guy was more likely the Chad person, the Chad guy who's out there, and I somehow these two found each other, and then all of a sudden it didn't work out. So
when that relationship ended, I made a promise to myself to not go into another relationship until I had overcome the issues I knew I needed to overcome. And year after year after year go by. At this point now, it's been over 4 years where I am now, and I had not healed or overcome these things I wanted to heal or overcome. And I was still constantly, up until last year, last time I had dating app was, I've always had dating app. Always, it was just constantly finding a new guy, because I needed them to fill my emptiness inside of me, because I had a very severe limerence,
Dating app.
I put all my happiness into hands of
Yeah,
someone
I
else.
mean, she she definitely will have like a lot of matches. You know, she's probably gonna have 50, 60, 70 matches already, compared to the even above average dude who would get absolutely zero matches and probably be lucky to even get one.
I think now I did that. There are many
Jeez, man.
psychological reasons why I did it, but I think one of them was that I was so unhappy that I couldn't control my own unhappiness, and I thought that because a man gave me a little bit of happiness, as humans are, relationships do bring us joy and happiness, and especially when you can't have them, you think that they're the source of your happiness, and they're on a pedestal. And I realized that, sorry, I totally lost my train of thought. It was kind of important, this realization that I had, but I realized that, I can't believe I'm blanking, I don't usually do this. I was using, sorry, I'm trying to like trigger this thought back. I think it was easier for me to obsess and love and yearn after a man, because then I could tell myself the reason why I wasn't happy is because I didn't have him.
Okay. I think the captions are just so
To
the captions are
obsess
just so they're so off sometimes.
and love and yearn after a man, because then I could
I'm sorry, the captions are hilarious. Urine after a man.
tell myself the reason why I wasn't happy is because I didn't
Funny.
have him. Like, each man, whatever
I'm
man it was, would kind of
sorry.
just change. Like, I usually like be obsessed with man for like a year or so, and then eventually move on to the next one, and that didn't work out. I would think that if I had him, I'd be happy. And I think I used it as an excuse to put my own happiness in the hands of someone else, because when I put my own happiness in my own hands, I wasn't able to be happy. And so I didn't know what to do. So at least if I put my happiness in someone else's hands, I don't know, it's kind of a whole other video, whole other topic. But
Yeah, that's what it
finally,
almost feels like, urinating after a man. You know, like just spoil. I mean, like just spoiling his fantasy.
starting to, for the first time in my life, feeling like I'm becoming healed and overcoming my traumas and overcoming my depression and overcoming all the things I've needed to overcome in my life to become my true version of myself.
And I'm not trying to knock down her mental health issues. Yeah, okay, she does have it, but like I said, because she's putting herself out there, there's gonna be a lot of guys who are gonna flat out just comment and say, "Oh, you're amazing," you know. I wish I'd be there to help you.
And I think that there will be a man for me when that happens, when I complete this. It's not that it's ever fully complete, but I feel like I'm at the end of it. I feel like in the next year or so, I'm going to finally come out like a butterfly. Like I feel like I've been a cocoon for the past like 10 years or so. Just I don't know what I was doing in the cocoon, but regardless, I'm ready to come out of it, and it's me. I don't think it was me before. It was a character I was playing. It was the ego that we all take on as humans, especially in our earlier years. And I know I want a boyfriend so badly. I want to be loved so badly, but I'm also patient with God. But I also every day feel this sadness in me, because I just want that love. I know that a big part of it is you need to give it to yourself first, and I'm getting there. I am giving it to myself, but to want a man to come into my life right now and be with me is not right, because I still am not fully loving myself, and I know I need to reach that first. I know, even though despite the fact that I started this video out very specifically talking about how I'm not looking for just a random guy, there's still going to be comments that are going to say something like, "Oh, just go out and you can just find a boyfriend," and somehow people make comments that are completely missing the point. I don't just want a boyfriend. I'm obviously a intellectual, deep thinker, and there's a certain type of person that I want in my life. I don't want just anyone. Of course, I'm a woman. I can go out and probably find a boyfriend in 24 hours. It doesn't mean that they're the people that I want to be with. I don't just want just a man. I want someone who is right for me. And that's hard to find, especially when you're someone who, you know how they say the phrase like it's lonely at the top?
She admitted it. She can just easily find somebody within 24 hours. Of course, no surprise.
But what they're saying in that is that
compared to the other guys out there who are really struggling. But okay,
and like I said in another video, is that it's rarity is lonely. So to have some sort of rarity is a very lonely situation.
She admitted it.
There's very few people who are like you. So if you're at the top and successful and everything, there's very few people who are like you. So it's lonely. And for myself, when you're aware of things, and I don't like to be on the ego and calling myself spiritually awakened, because one cannot really be fully awakened, but you get what I'm saying. To find someone like that is it's not a simple task, but I put that job in the hands of God. And this video isn't about me trying to find a man, because I know that it'll happen when it's supposed to happen. Man. It's just about me being lonely. I just desire that connection so much, and so many people do, and that's what makes people turn to casual sex or to maintaining like dating and situationships that aren't good for them, because that need for that romantic companionship is so strong, and to choose to go without it is really painful. And for some people, you might not find the right person for a long time, so you don't know how long it's going to be until you find that person. I don't know, and I don't even know if I will. I have to have faith in God that I will, and I really hope I do, but it's just so painful every day. And there's this guy that I've been having this like on and off, not even a relationship thing.
Jeez, I believe in God myself, but even I'm already getting I'm already going a little bit crazy with her talking about God this, God that.
Situationship, who knows what it is, just past almost a year now. And I ended it with him about a month ago because I just couldn't keep doing it to myself. It's like he wasn't showing up in the way that I needed someone to show up for me. But I really liked him, and I couldn't really let him go, because I wanted him. I really did like him, but we didn't have.
And I say that because it's like the typical Christian slash Catholic girl, doing all that. Oh yes, I gotta put my faith. I got this. I got that.
What I
Oh
wanted. Like,
man,
he was so busy with work, I barely ever
jeez.
saw him. Even though we talked every day, I was, like I said, I need the physical part of a relationship, and he wasn't able to provide it for me. And he even said to me the same thing. He's like, I don't feel like I can give you like what you need. He's so preoccupied with work and working really, really long shifts and long like days in a row and having no time off and everything. And so it's just been this ongoing thing with this guy that isn't providing for me in the way that I need to be provided for. And he even said it. And he's like, I don't want to hurt you. And but we both still like each other. So what are you supposed to do? And we just
Wait,
kept going on and on
let
about
me
me in the way
back that up for a bit.
like, I don't feel like I can give you like what you need. He's so preoccupied with work and working really, really long shifts and long like days in a row and having no time off and everything. And so it's just been this ongoing thing with this guy that isn't providing for me in the way that I need to be provided for. And he even said it. And he's like, I don't want to hurt you. And but we both still like each other. So what are you supposed to do? And we just kept going on and on about it. And no one's going to end it.
So, okay. I mean, because the dude is working his ass off. He's trying to help for himself and possibly even her. Okay, so and not to mention she doesn't work. Um, at least from what I've seen, she doesn't work. So she must have been. I'm assuming so. She's collecting SSI or I don't know what, because I think on her one of her videos titled she says YouTube is her only thing. So okay, that's what I would throw out there.
It's you still like the person, the situation just isn't working out in the way you want it to work out, and I really wish it did, but I did end it because not because I wanted to. It was really, really hard, but how much longer? It's been like over 6 months, and how much longer can you go on hoping a guy is going to change or a person's going to change? At a certain point, you have to stop waiting for them to change and just accept that the reality of the situation is the reality of the situation. I just kept thinking, oh, I'll get a different job or whatever scenario, and it didn't happen. But it doesn't matter. And so I ended into this guy over a month ago, and he still reaches out, but he's just trying to like probably just wants to sleep with me, and I have to resist the urge to reach out or to respond or to engage in this conversation with this man because I do want him and I do want that physical connection and not just sex, just all of it. But he still can't give it to me in the way that I want it because he's just so physically unavailable with his schedule, and I just feel sad about it all the time. And I've was hoping that like you let something go and it'll come back to you. I'm kind of hoping that would happen with him as time goes on, but I'm also thinking maybe he was never right for me in the first place, But instead of sitting around and thinking, is he right or is he not right or all these things, I just put that in God's hands and I just have faith that whatever is supposed to happen for me is what is going to happen for me. And I do feel that the thing with when you have a really strong connection with God or the universe, a lot of times you know what you know things. You don't know, like you're not a fortune teller, you don't know specific details, but you have knowings of why things are happening the way they're happening. And I know that I'm supposed to be alone and figure myself out. And I'm becoming this version of myself who is going to be right. And I'm going to finally meet that person and have that companionship that I want. But I still have a few more steps to go. And I hope that I'm not making a video like this a year from now and still being lonely and still desiring love and companionship. But if that is the case, then that is the case. And I don't even want to think about that because you guys know I'm 30 and I don't want kids. Some people ask me if you don't want kids. I have no desire to have children. I have other things I want to do with my life and it's not take care of children. As much as I would be a good mother, it's just not on my life path. I just know it inside me. And I'm not saying I'm running out of time, but people always say like my parents are divorced and they remarried and they're found people amazing for them. And I'm so grateful for their divorce because they were really not good for each other. And they found people who are good for them. And both of those, my parents have been remarried for over 10 years now. And I get two other wonderful people in my life that I love so much, and I'm so grateful for that. And both my mom and my dad have said to me on separate occasions, obviously because they're divorced, but they have said to me like, you don't need to be impatient with love and your partner. That time will come when that time comes. And they say, look at themselves. They both found their person that actually works for them I think it was in their 40s when they did. And I say I understand where they're coming from. Like, it's never too late to find someone, but human life is not.
Probably gonna slow this down a bit because I might probably miss some stuff, but
endless. It has an end date.
At the same time, I don't want to make this video
maybe
too
I'll find the love of my life when I'm 60, but that means I might only have a certain amount of years with them. Obviously, there's a chance people can die anytime. I don't even want to get into that because I can't deal with the thought of that concept at this moment. But I don't want to find the love of my life when I'm 40 or 50. I want to spend time with them now. I want to have those experiences with them now. And I understand also part of the reason why is that you change so much as a human that perhaps it's not meant to be that you find some person in your 20s or whatnot, or early 30s, that you're with forever, because who you are, especially in your early 20s, is not who you are in your early 20s, or it's not who you are when you're 30, unless you are really, really self-aware or
what does it say in her arm? Always hide what? I can't even read that. What does that say? I can't stand that little bar. I can't even remove that little bar.
To not change, and you don't want to be with a person who chooses to not change. It's not a person you would ever want to be with. No one should want to be with someone like that or aspire to be someone like that. Change is good. Change is human. Change is life. Change is the universe. Everything. The only constant in life is change. And that the change that we experience in our early 20s to our 30s is a complete identity shift if you're doing any sort of self-work. Because if you're I think most of my viewers are my age or older, but if you're younger than me and you're in your early 20s and you're kind of wondering why when you're in your early 20s, your teens, your 20s, you're still so much in the ego and in society, and you don't really like get to know who your true
Yeah,
self is. Plus, you have the whole prefrontal
that's
cortex
true.
hasn't fully developed until you're about mid 20s, so your actually brain hasn't fully developed. It's so interesting because when you are younger and people say things like, "Oh, you'll understand when you're older," or even when I was in my early 20s, I just didn't understand things, and I didn't know I didn't understand them until I was older. And like, that makes
Yeah,
sense now.
I
But your
mean,
brain actually isn't
I'll
capable, and
agree
it's not
with
your
her
fault.
with
Your brain
that.
isn't capable, and that is a whole part of the life experience. But regardless, we change so much. Maybe I'm going off on a whole tangent. The reason why, but I'm not going to say on camera. But I'll just say that I have
I'm still thinking about the whole her like the way I guess her and her boyfriend broke up because of course he was working so many hours. I mean, of course to like I said to provide for himself and for his future, possibly her future too, if they were to be together forever or get married, maybe. But he was just working so much just to yeah, like I said, to better himself, and for her, she doesn't work. I'm not sure if she held a job. She said she also said she doesn't have any hobbies. She doesn't really do anything. So I mean, other than just do YouTube and just talk about her struggles, that's pretty much her identity. And like I mentioned before, you mean it's okay to vent, but not to where you're gonna make your own struggles your identity. But yeah, I'm just curious as to why she and her boyfriend broke up.
have
But
a very diverse like age range of men that I find attractive. It goes in both directions. I love men. Like I'm a man lover. It's kind of an issue because of lust. I want to make a whole video talking
I'm
about
a
lust, but
man lover
I like men on all variations of them. So
on all
I'm saying this because this guy is
variations.
younger than me, and I can't really say that on camera, but he's in his early 20s,
Oh
and
boy.
I am like, why are you being with someone in their early 20s? Doesn't even make sense. They're not even who they are. Yes, he's amazing. Yes, he's a really sweet, kind, gentle soul and very loving and has qualities and traits that you like, but he's also in his early 20s, and who he is now is not going to be who he is
Oh
later, and
man, she wants
perhaps
the
he needs to just
young.
let that
She
go
wants the
and
young.
accept that it's just not meant to be. And especially someone like myself who's so aware and analytical, like I said earlier, I need that. I feel like I need someone who has that life experience, kind of. Lucky for me, I like men on all age spectrum, so there's lots for me to choose from. But there really isn't, because God will only send me what is meant for me. And they say there's lots of men to choose from, but I don't
God will
really
only
like
say,
feel like there is.
"Oh
I don't really
my
see them that
goodness."
everyone's taken, or they just don't. I don't catch their, they don't catch my eye, or whatever it is. But regardless, I'm not sitting. I'm not going around to bars. I'm not on dating apps. I'm not doing any of that stuff. So I'm not trying to seek a man. I'm just tired of being lonely, but I don't want to seek out any man just for the sake of easing my loneliness. I want the right one, and I'm really tired of waiting for it. And I just desire to be loved, and I'm envious of people who have that love. And I just, it's
Who
hard out
have
there. And I
that?
know a lot of people
I
relate
mean,
because everyone wants love. Everyone's chasing after love. But I know I have to love myself first, and I have to be patient with God. So that's what I'm going to do. Yeah,
be
that's all.
patient
I'll
with
see you guys tomorrow.
God. This God, man, I'm
I feel
already
solo.
like I'm already getting tired of her mentioning God this, God that, and like I mentioned, um I respect I respect religious beliefs and whether you believe in God or not, but um it's just geez, it's like so much God this, God that, and I do believe in God myself, okay? But again, this is not a whole religious talk, it's a different story. I respect you, whatever you are, whether you're Catholic, Christian, atheist, Buddhist, it doesn't matter. I don't, it doesn't, I mean, I'm just saying. But I like just the amount of time she mentions God and faith and like man, that you're that almost stereotypical Catholic Christian girl. Women are never alone, fella. Yeah. Avoiding the water. She's not. Yeah, there's plenty of men. See, she's not. They're not tall. See, she's more likely the kind of person who's picky, especially when she mentioned like, oh yeah, the early 20s guy. Yeah, I mean, because she has unrealistic. Exactly. See, 100 great men will approach her. Like there could be, like she could make a bunch of men line up, like 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 there'd be a longer line of men, even bigger than the debut of Grand Theft Auto 6. you know, like she could do that. And I know she mentioned in the beginning, I'm not here for online relationships, but still, like she's still putting her business out there. Have thrown you have you thrown in the friend zone? One. Uh, way more than that. Yeah, exactly. Add two zeros. This video will blow up for obvious reasons. Yeah, because of the title alone, just the generic title alone. I know she mentioned that first about not wanting online relationship, but still dumped her last boyfriend who sounded like, yeah, he more likely was a hardworking dude, a very hardworking dude. I don't think he worked like he I don't think he worked that many hours. He's pretty much one of those guys who worked a standard 40, 50 hour work week, and she does not work. So she doesn't really understand what it's like to 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 um to be working hours and making money to help themselves. Can't find love. I mean, she wants that young guy. Some simple taking in Europe, blah blah blah. So I have no sympathy or something like this. Yeah, I know. I know. Oh my god. Simp army assemble. I like that one. That's fun. Oh, man. I mean, she had a video. I think she did had a video of her crying. Like just crying. Like, of course that's gonna send a lot of guys out there to come to her channel and be like, "Oh, you're amazing. You're so amazing. Oh, don't worry, everything's gonna be okay." I mean, again, this is a girl with absolutely nothing for herself, But the only thing that's going for her, of course, is her YouTube video and her looks. That's what it is. That's what's bringing guys to her channel. Like, she can just stand there and do nothing, and then yet a lot of the people are gonna come to her. Even some women are gonna come to her and console her. Oh yeah, girl, you get it, girl. Yeah, you amazing. You a strong woman. Versus the other guy with like who the around her age, even sometimes even younger too, who's struggling to get views, who's struggling to get help, and he's the one who's working his butt off at his job, trying to help himself, trying to find his own happiness, and um and just make something for himself. And he probably has some talents, like he could probably sing, draw make art. He has some things going for him, and yet he's the one shoved to the side, and she's the one and getting the attention. I'm not just talking about her, but there's like girls out there, doing that. And it's not just the young girls, even older girls in their 30s and 40s who would still get this, who would still get that high viewership. But this is not knocking her down. I'm not trying to like blast her or anything like that, but it's just I'm just saying, with the way social media is, she can go in and cry and stand there all day, and lo and behold, look at that. Look at all the support that she's getting. But yeah, that's that. I think I've said what I need to say. Let me know in the comments below what you think, and I'll leave the description here. it's See, I need Jesus, and another one of these, like, I need God, I need Jesus. I'm like, man, you'll even make a Christian guy like, you drive him nuts with all this Jesus talk. Like, jeez, man, like, what the heck? I almost want to play Slayer and metal music and freaking 666 stuff, all the devil stuff. Just, oh man, expecting flick fairy tales, lust and adultery, unrealistic expect, social media expect. Yeah. Oh man, that's That's something else. But all right, I think this video's gone on far too long. I'm just rambling here. But anyways, thanks for watching this. Have a good one.